the live stream so much. As I said, it'll be a weekly event, and please feel free to ask your questions. I'm just going to wait a minute for people to come in. Now, I do think this week is going to be a telling week. Not just because of GameStop, sorry, not just because of GME. I have put up a recent video, a short video, because of someone said to me, YouTube taking down any funware videos because of a short squeeze, a risk of a short squeeze going on. But for the moment, my one is up. I don't see anything on there, and I am wondering what is happening now. It may have just been someone mistaken. He's had his video taken down for something else. But as I said, funware did have its run up, like I said a couple of weeks ago. So I'll be a bit wary about going in. It does look like it's coming back down. Now, there are people coming out of big tech, and it's hard to know whether it is hedge funds or whether it's retail investors coming out to go into the likes of GME, AMC and the likes. Now, if you're going into GME, do not come out of the likes of Apple and Facebook and Tesla. Firstly, I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot tell you what to do. But if it was me, I would not sell stocks like Apple or Facebook or Tesla to go in them. The thing is, a lot of the run up is done. It is already 50x, but at the same time, a lot of it is still to be done. So I understand the temptation. Now, you still have a lot of shorts to be covered, and I wouldn't be surprised, as I said before, if the hedge funds are pulling out of some of it. The likes of Facebook, we know they're going to have a bad quarter next quarter. Everything is overextended. The Peter Schiff formula has shown the market at the moment as more overextended than during 1929. All the alarm bells are screaming, like the normal ones that are used. Now, we do have to prepare for a week ahead. There are, now if you want me to speak about the OTC market, I will. If you want me to speak about tech stocks, I will. If you want me to speak about other stocks, I will. The thing is, you guys let me know. So even with silver, there's a rumour that a short squeeze is going around on silver, and I wouldn't be surprised, but you have to remember, oh, sorry about a bit of an echo. The thing you have to beware is with silver, you have likes of Melvin Capital, and that are one of the biggest when it comes to silver. And you have the chance that they may be trying to split your focus if you are in GME by having you go into something else. Now, of course, I'm just an idiot on the internet, so I would always do your due diligence. I always say prepare for the long term, so you can use these red days as buying opportunities. And the thing is with this is there are still companies on OTC that are worth looking at. TSMP, MITI, HCMC, I think all still have room to run. Now, you guys have to look and see if it's the kind of company for you, or if it's too risky. Me, I've made my own decision. I'm already in AAU, a UK stock, gold and silver stock. I have been for a while, and I will continue to be in. It was one of the first stocks I was in, and I think that is one that will do well. But as I said, if you have any questions, don't forget to put them in the chat. We can even go back and talk about people taking payments for YouTube channels, whether you think it's right or wrong. But the fact of the matter is, I'm considering a company like Affirm as well, because I think they have good potential. I'm considering quite a few companies actually, but at the base of it, I'm always making sure I have money on the sidelines in case of a correction or a crash. As I said, I'm expecting hedge funds to take their money out. I'm expecting, at the same time, I think retail investors are taking some of their money out to be a part of this. And I think with so much of big tech overextended, once that all comes together, you could see some limit stops losses being triggered, and it could start a chain reaction. Now, if you want to be a part of a short squeeze action, then a company like Biolays, it's a niche market. It can earn a lot of money. It's one of these that it will either live or die. It will either go from strength to strength, or it will die. But it's not going to do a GME. It has like a 27% short, and so it's not massive, but it's still above average and has great potential, and it's a long-term hold. Or you have the likes of Nokia. Again, you're not going to get the GME returns, but it's a profitable company, pays a dividend. Even AMC people are going into because it's a low price, has a high short, and it has recently got its loan terms sorted out, so it's not going to go bankrupt anytime soon, especially because of the offerings. Now, there's a few of them you can look into. Just go to Yahoo Finance or your broker, go to statistics, you go to shares outstanding, shares shorts, institution shorts, short of the float, and that will tell you. Although with Yahoo Finance, I think you're better off. It's not always updated. especially with some of the OTCs, you're better off going to a broker that has real-time tracking knowledge and putting the information in there. Now, I would also be looking into some of the companies like CCIV, because Lucid is apparently signing an agreement with Israeli company to help, and with the Saudis, and it's going to be a good money maker for them. Hi Colm, good to see you again. Thoughts on Biden's EV executive order? Well, the thing is, Colm, Workhorse is the only, it isn't just that they have to be EVs, it's that he also put in it they have to be made in America. So the fact is, Workhorse was the only bidder at the USPS that fit that. They're made in America and they're completely EV. You have the Oshkosh, which is a hybrid version, and you have the Carson, which is a Turkish version. So whichever way you go with that, they're not fitting his criteria. Now, the fact that they produce less than 2,000 a year wouldn't be an issue, because it's not going, firstly, it's not over 1 year. What they're saying is it will be over a number of years for the USPS contract. It's going to be over 5-6 years. Now, the thing is that as well as that, Lordstown Motors has recently signed an agreement with LG Chem for more batteries. Lordstown Motors only uses a third of that plant, and yet has applied to extend the plant. Why are they extending it if they're only using a third of it? Now, you have TPIC, when I contacted them, actually said they don't mind incorporating other companies they have contracts with, helping them out, or even working off site, but they wouldn't name names. So basically, they don't mind manufacturing for other companies such as Workhorse, and the manufacturing wouldn't be an issue. I think what they're waiting for is they're waiting on a contract, waiting on a down payment for what. If you remember with Gevo, what Gevo did, as soon as they got the payment from the Indian government, they bought up 4 more manufacturing plants, and then manufacturing wasn't an issue. And with, I mentioned Lordstown Motors and the battery with LG Chem, because the Lordstown Endurance and the Workhorse C1000 is the same skateboard. It's just the shell which is different. The shell for the C1000 is done by TPIC, whereas the Endurance is done by Lordstown. And they Workhorse will of course be using Lordstown, they'd be using Ride, they'd be using RMG and LG Chem, and I think that they will have an agreement with GM for the rest of the land as well. And I also think that they will also pick up more. If I don't know if you was around when I released a video that no one had released yet. It was during the senator debate before Trump had his debate, and he actually announced that, you know, about Ohio, how they bring in the jobs to Ohio and EVs and that, and I have linked it a few times to some of my videos. I think Workhorse will get the contract. I think not only the contract, they will be getting more and more contracts. I think IKEA will give them more contracts as well. And I don't know if you know, I did a video how a few more sites have put them on for selling and leasing. So I expect more contracts from them. And I think if the USPS contract wasn't even involved, and we know that they should get the USPS contract, then I think what would happen is that workhorse would be at a fair value for the contracts they already have in the bag, you know, because they got a huge contract like a month or two ago, and that has put them at a fair value now. But what's keeping them down, apart from all these shorts, like the 31.5% shorted, is the fact that everyone is waiting on the USPS contract before they jump in, because you have companies who don't even have an EV vehicle who are going higher than them, and I think that's a major one. I mean, Ford, their EV looks amazing, but it's going to be a year or two before it comes to fruition. And when Ford tried EV before, it kept breaking down, catching fire, and they put in for a bid before to USPS, and the USPS sent it back, and Ford just wouldn't bother. They're not even a part of the Oshkosh bid. It came out. GM are going all electric. They may make gains, but again, it's going to be a while before they actually have it all set up. Now, I'm glad you enjoyed that, Carl. Yeah. Now, I actually found that back in September, October time, and I put that on like within a day of the debate. I had to watch through the whole debate, and I caught it just at the right moment, and it was so lucky I caught it. I'm surprised my missus hasn't left me by now. She's thinking, you're looking into US politics more than you are UK politics. But anything that affects my shares, which affects my money, which she spends it all, that's what I look into. And the thanks, Carl. The other thing is, everyone was going crazy over Cathie Wood's space ETF. That doesn't go live until April, in case you didn't know. So you have time. The thing is, I think Medigus is going to be in it. They have contracts with NASA. I think that they have contracts with Pizza Hut in Israel for their drones. So they've got a camera used by NASA. They've got drones used by Pizza Hut in another country. If that's being trialled by them, if that gets okayed in that country, then they will use it in other countries as well. They have EV charging. I mean, they also have contracts with the US military, you know, over their cameras as well, and over other surveillance as well. So I think, I mean, I went for them for one thing. I looked into them for one thing because they were such a low price. And the more I looked into them, the more I found out. And I'm thinking, this company has a moat, and they're such a low price. And then I bought into them, and then Cathie Wood come out about her ETF, and then it come out about the NASA thing, and it went up 44% in a day. And I'm thinking, I'm glad I said this to my subscribers before it went up, because otherwise it would have looked like I was jumping on a bandwagon. And that's what I like to do. I don't like to jump on a bandwagon. I don't like to follow hot stocks. That's why my channel isn't 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, because I don't jump on the bandwagon. I like to give stocks that have potential and so you guys get the chance to ride it all the way up, not get in the middle or at the top. Yeah, I'm glad you think that, Carl. Now, you know, IEA, I said when it was $18 share, it went up to $22. It's back down to $19 now because of all this craziness in the market. Now, this is the exact kind of company that Biden will be looking for his infrastructure bill. It's green energy, it's infrastructure, already has contracts. All the analysts speak about it being a $50 a share fair value, not price target, and it's under $20. You know, DPW, all of them. You know, I could go on forever about all these companies. I'm now looking at MITI because they're the ones who sold the Minute Clinic CVS, and they have first of their 50 luxury clinics opening on Monday, so I expect PR to come out soon and start it going up. You have TSMP, who are merging with Humble, which is going to be available in 20 to 40 countries, although not USA. And the guy in charge of that is like the Elon Musk of blockchain. You have HCMC, which is $1 billion company, which has legal action for IP infringement against a well-known tobacco company, and apparently the court case is going well in their favour. You know, there's just so many. I mean, I did a short video a few minutes earlier about the PHUN and the short squeeze. Apparently, someone said YouTube was taking down videos on them. I put a test video up there, but it's still up there. And but it's because it went up so fast that people thought that it was going to be a short squeeze, and because it had such a low float, which is something I said like weeks ago. Nah, we have all these, you know. I do all these videos, and I do it because I've done all this research, and I think, you know, why should I keep it to myself? You know, I should share it so we can all benefit. And I'm not the type of person who thinks, oh, I'll stick up a Patreon and Patreon can benefit from it. I like the ones where there's been a few people who I've watched in the past, and they say, well, this is buying like at the start, and then they're going it bottom. We've sold there at the top, and if you was in the Patreon, so sign up now and pay, otherwise you'll miss out next time. And I think we're on here to educate, we're on here to entertain. You're not educating if you're asking people for money. And that's why I don't like that. And you can have a Patreon, yes, nothing wrong with for all the work you're putting in, and you can release the day before, but don't start saying and release information to you if you don't. And as well as that, I don't start mine off with 5 minutes of like, subscribe, and whatever. I put that either at the end or in the middle or not at all. You know, because I think when in the past, when I wanted to watch a video, you know, I'm thinking, oh, come on, get to the ticker symbol. I don't want to, you know, be forever. Everyone knows to like and subscribe, but as well, the problem with that is sometimes people don't, and sometimes people don't hit the like and subscribe button. So it is important to hit the like button because it does make the video get out to more people, and it does help subscribing does help the channel. ACTC, I have looked into it before. I haven't looked into it recently, I have to say, but if you want me to do another thing on it, I also have to do one on I am looking into ESSC as well, and I have been asked to look into Novavax again. Yes, exactly, Calm. The like button encourages the algorithm, but I take it you mean ArcLight, ArcLight clean transition. Cool. Now, it's from what I understand, I think it's supposed to be like a Proterra, and originally I didn't get in it because I've had so many EV companies that are doing buses and doing not just buses but trucks and the likes, and the way I saw it was, do I go for Proterra, which is just an EV bus, and then I had a few which are bus, EV waste, EV truck, and all this all in one, and they've got orders. And then I looked at Proterra the other day, and it turns out Proterra isn't just buses, it's also looking, I'm just saying looking, planning to do a few other vehicles as well. But it's like Workhorse, they're bringing out a new truck, and not just a mail truck, but I'm talking about a proper truck, not like hyper truck, but size, just like a small truck. With their skateboard, they can do that. The thing is, Proterra will do well. It has the name and everything, but at the same time, I think like the Bus XF will do well. I just think it's gone from being a rare market to being such a crowded market, and you have to be careful that you're in the right company, because what will happen is if your company doesn't get contracts and it doesn't have money to keep it afloat, then then what will happen is if there is a crash, if it is in an EV bubble and it bursts, then you'll be left behind. Whereas that's why so many people go into Tesla, because they know that it has a moat. It has the car business, even though it's expensive for what it is. It has the car business, it has the solar business, it has the service business, it has the finance business, it's going to have insurance business, and they're talking about robo-taxi. So that is why you need to be careful and do a lot of due diligence nowadays. We have a lot of choice now. Beginning of last year we didn't. So that is why I am doing my research. I mean, I went into Zanti, and I don't know if you know, they should be going into, well, there was one of 4 electric vehicles, electric aircrafts. One of them was going to be an electric helicopter. I've narrowed it down to 1, and unless the CEO has just stopped looking into, unless the CEO has stopped looking into the other one just for the sake of it. But he's the thing is, he's apparently is a very good electric aircraft. It's going to be one of the first on the scene, I know I say about COUV. Sorry about that. Nah, the thing is, I'm bullish on EVs. I'm bullish on solar. Bullish on MJ actually, but I do think a lot of it has been overvalued because I think over the past few years a lot of it's been undervalued. So I think it's about finding the ones that are finding those undervalued stocks. Now I am looking into a couple that are still going to run, and now I'm looking at GROW. It's the world's first publicly invest in crypto mining, and it was the first publicly traded firm involved in the business of mining new cryptocurrencies. And the problem with crypto mining is that you can only mine so many, and it gets harder all the time to mine them. Now, the thing is, they're saying going to get rid of combustion engines. Now, combustion engines were also in aircraft. It's not just that. When the beginning of last year's crash happened, the French government gave Airbus 140 billion so that they could be bailed out, so that they didn't lose market share to the Chinese, on the condition they spent half of it on renewable energy projects. Now, people are thinking that all they're going to do is take out a fuel tank and put in a battery. Now, if you saw the patents for COUV, they have a lighter battery, I know, but they can line the plane with it. It means less of the plane. You can't take as much luggage. But if you go on a Ryanair flight now or an EasyJet, they don't let you take luggage half the time, and I think you will have some electric aircraft that's going to go back to like the 1950s style, where they will be smaller, not as big as they are now, and they're going to be more deluxe. And what will happen is they may be for the short journeys, city to city instead of intercontinental, unless it's like UK to France or sort of journey. And once they come out and they become more regular, you will find, because at the moment, you may not know it, but we pay a green tax on every flight. But I think what will happen is the green taxes will end up being a huge amount once they come out with electric aircraft. Now, it's a way for them to make more money, bring in more money. And I do think it will be kind of like with Tesla, the first one to market will be the moneymaker. I'm not putting a huge amount in. I've only picked up 10-20 shares, but I do think it has potential to at least double, if not triple. If you look at SPACs, they go up like that on the rumour, then they come down, and then on the letter of intent they go up even further, and then after merger they come down and then go up again. Very rarely do they just go up, and if they do, then that's because they're in a special company. I'll have to get my whiteboard out for the next time I do something like that. Sorry, my sleeve's getting in the way. But I do believe in electric aircraft, and don't forget the weight of the batteries is because of the range. The batteries, they're increasing the range all the time, and a majority of the, how can I put it, a majority of the fuel in the aircraft is used in taking off and landing. Now, if you don't actually have fuel, then you can take out a lot of the metal parts, which actually takes out a lot of the weight as well. So you can put batteries in there in that place. You know, you still need something to power the plane forward, but you don't need all the choke and all the other things that, you know, spark plugs and that's gonna fire up the fuel. You know, it's all the pistons. You know, that's all lost weight that you can use again, and all lost space. And as well as that, it's all things that you don't have to worry about going wrong. All things you don't have to maintain. Now, of course, it could end up flopping, but we already have electric boats. Now, they only have like an 80 to 100 mile range, but they're planning to have them to have a 300 or 400 mile range. And a few years ago, it would have said, what, you believe in electric boats? Why? And because battery technology is advancing all the time, and what's happened here last year just meant that people have taken it a lot more seriously. And when people start taking these things seriously, put more money into it. And funnily enough, China are at the forefront of all of this. You may not like China, you may not like the companies, but it's the first company where they believed, where the CEOs believed that I've got to breathe the same air as the people on the streets, so I've got to do something about it. And that's why, even though they helped create some of the most polluted streets in the world, they are now trying to do something to clean it up. And they've invested massively. That's why once all this is over, I don't think you'll get the cheap plastic tat from China anymore. I think they will outsource that to Africa or Cambodia. And I think China will mainly be a commerce or a country dealing in high value items or high commodity items such as semiconductors and the like. All the cheap stuff where the factories usually pollute the atmosphere will go to other countries that are considered third world countries to them. Also because the wage per hour has increased over in China and conditions have improved. Maybe not to our standards, but they have improved. And they can get more for less in the other countries. I do think that I've seen people who have said oil, oh, it's so cheap, and all these companies are so cheap, but you've got to think long term. The nearest I have to owning an oil company is DHT, which is a tanker company, which paid me a 42% dividend last year. It's going to pay me 15% dividend in the quarter, in March. Well, it actually pays me 2 dividends, sorry, pay 2 dividends a year, so it wouldn't be a quarter, it'd be in a half. So it'll pay it in March, and last year declared a 15% dividend before it ended up jacking the second one up to 42%. Now, whenever oil drops like a stone, this company does well because the shipping rates go up. But this one is going to make a huge profit this year because it secured its rates from last year, when the likes of NAT were more concerned with the daily rates. This one took less daily rates and secured its contracts on a year and 2 year contract. So that's why I'm in it. I will, if they declare a 42% dividend again, I will near enough get my money back. I'll have paid 8% for the shares. If they don't, then I would have paid 57% for in 1.5 years. Now, I've done videos on tankers before. I was ostracized for going against Jeremy and a lot of other YouTubers when I done my review, and the same with Nicola when I done my review on Nicola when it was still VTIQ. But that's why I say, as long as you do your own due diligence and you're confident in it, don't let anyone tell you any different. At least then you've just got yourself to blame if it comes out wrong. If it comes out right, then at least you know you was right all along. Anyway, unless there's any more questions, I'm going to end it there. I'll give you a few more seconds to give some questions. I do think this is going to be a telling week. Short squeeze. There's a fun because the hedge funds. I'm trying to sort it. Let me see. I hope you can still hear me, and if you have any questions, do type them. But if not, I'm going to finish it then. And I want to thank everyone for showing up, and I will see you in the next video. My other videos will be recorded ones for the next week because I am a moderator on TC's burner market, and I will, if you haven't checked his one out, check it out. I will be doing mod on his show before putting out my video, and don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment in the box below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.